all you need is an iPhone and you can make films. It's the photographer, not the gear. The gear doesn't matter. While you're at home looking for your next camera, someone is out shooting what they have. Yeah, about that. These are just a few of the quotes which I really don't like because it makes these wonderful things seem like they don't matter, and you can get whatever camera you want, whether it's a 200-pound pile of or a very nice 2,000-pound DSLR mirrorless camera. People on YouTube make it seem like nothing in the world matters apart from the skill of the person behind or in front of the camera, depending on what you're doing. In a way, I guess this is sort of true, but with those quotes. You know, tonight I was gonna walk up to the field a few miles that way, lay down on the ground and put my head very closely to the horse crap so I can listen to it. But I think I've heard enough of that today. So on the channel here, we speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you why you should care about gear more than a lot of people on YouTube make it seem, because gear does matter. So please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, sort of. But we'll get down to reason number one. And over the course of this video, I'm going to compare this camera, the Sony a7 Mark III with the Tamron 28-75mm f2.8 with my old Panasonic G7 with the kit lens, which came out as £500 and this camera came out as £2,700. So a drastic difference. So I guess we're going to put my hypothesis to test in this video and see how true it is. So firstly, I want you to have a look at these two shots back to front to each other. And what do you notice that's different? Because I can tell a bloody lot. And so let's look at some of the really obvious differences. Firstly, one is shooting an S-Log2 and the other shooting is cine-like D, which basically means that S-Log is shooting in a flat picture profile S-Log2, which I'm doing right now. Sometimes they're shooting HLG. I'll do a video in the future about these different picture profiles and LUTs in the future because I think it's an important topic to address. And the other shooting cine-like D means that it's not really changing the gamma. It's just desaturating, decontrasting, de-sharpening and de-stuffing. I don't know, so it's capturing it in a very similar way to it would, and so it's not a very flat picture profile. And this makes adding nice LUTs particularly hard, and I've always had to fight with this thing to try and color grade it. It's never been easy, but people have always told me that, oh no, you're just a crap color gradist, and to an extent I'm not the best. But as soon as I got this camera, using S-Log2, HLG, 3, and different LUTs that I've got, my color grading has shot up. So yeah, that's point number one. Second point is the dynamic range, which also sort of applies to the picture profile you're shooting in. So you're shooting S-Log2 or HLG, they are pretty much high dynamic range picture profiles. God, this is so annoying. Jesus Christ. So as you can see in the video clips, the cheap £500 camera, the highlights are blown out, even shooting in the cine-like picture profile, and they're shooting at pretty much the same settings. But as you can see, the highlights are controlled very nicely. Especially in comparison, I'm incredibly impressed. And one thing that people always say about cameras is you can always tell a cheap camera when it has blown out highlights. And that's one thing you can definitely find with this cheap camera, and that is fantastically dealt with on this expensive camera. Thirdly is, of course, focus. A lot of the time this is out of focus, and that is never not in focus. It would be embarrassing if it wasn't. Nah, I think it's all good. Thirdly, colors. Now again, when I made a video about the colors and the sensor on the G7, I got very much criticized for slating the color science of their sensors. And I probably was a little bit harsh, but I do definitely think that the colors on a nice expensive camera like this are so worth it, and you can tell so much difference. And of course, who can forget the very nice bokeh that juicy full frame sensor can give you. So going back to the quote about looking for a new camera while someone else is shooting whatever the crap they have, I can't really agree with that, because if you're going to be spending a lot of money on a camera, it's important to make the right decision, so you're going to have to spend a lot of time researching. So originally I was going to get the A7S Mark III when it came out, but I got this because it was good and I was going to be saving a few grand probably over the A7S. So it is important to look at the right camera, but I guess the main point of the quote was that it doesn't matter what gear you're shooting with, but it does. So there's a big difference, I think, that's misinterpreted on YouTube between shooting YouTube videos and personal projects as opposed to shooting things for real-world clients. And with the kind of thing I do in the real world, aside from this stuff, is real estate and hotels. And basically the kind of look you want to go for there is very clean. So what I do is I shoot in S-Log2. I then use a S-Log2 to Rec 709 LUT converter, or conversion LUT, to give it a very nice clean look, and then go through and color grade it and edit away. And having a very similar workflow with these two cameras, with the £2,200 difference, made an enormous improvement on the quality of my work. I made the mistake of listening to people on YouTube who said that it doesn't matter what camera I use. So I don't want you guys to make the same mistake as me. So get yourself a nice camera and of course a nice lens. I don't think you can hide a bad filmmaker behind a good camera, but a bad camera can definitely limit the quality of the work you can produce. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, as always, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.